Test, test. There we go. All my settings went kaput. Right, I was going to say, you're over here on this screen now, which means I'm not looking at you here. I'm looking at you over there. But we're doing some video editing today, which means my usual screen to watch you guys on, I'm using to see what video I'm chopping. Hey Perez! Yeah, all my settings just went there. Says output or input. What are these? Good to see you, Perez. So we're doing some creative stuff today. I haven't done anything creative for a while on the stream. Let's flick ourselves over. And what we want to do is take out the Glimesh chat, because we're not on Glimesh today. We're purely on YouTube, Twitch and Periscope. Keeping it simple. Audio is still kind of scuffed. Not gonna lie. Oh, right. Still kind of scuffed. Scuffed. I must have to listen to myself for a sec. No, it's me or you. Let's get myself up on my phone so I can hear. Twitch. When moment. Because I don't actually listen to myself back. That's just weird, in my opinion. I am live. Stream manager. Can I view my stream? It's nice as an activity feed, but I have a few follows. Nice. How do you get your own stream up on? That's annoying. I can't review myself. My channel, there we go. Test. Yes, it's going really choppy, isn't it? Yes, it's going really. Oh. Cool, there we go. Tyrone, it's not just you, keeps cutting out. Good to know. Cool. Yeah, what's happened? Oh, that's gone a bit louder now, look at that. Wait, what it seems to do periodically, much better. Because my microphone's set to 44 Hertz. My PC set to 44 Hertz, but periodically the PC decides to go bleh, and sets the microphone to 48 Hertz while it's actually still at 44, and there's a complete mismatch of frequencies. Don't know what happens. OBS goes up, which I don't know what microphone you want. What microphone? We don't know anything about microphone. You got headphones. What headphones? What do you mean you want to actually hear what's going on? So something happens periodically, and that happened to have been today. But anyway, let's flick it back over to main screen. Thank you for letting us know. I got halfway through a stream before someone told me that. But yeah, this is a bit of an impromptu stream. Don't normally do this, but it's something I need to do. So I am working through some video. So I do a lot of filming, or used to do a lot of filming. This video in particular is from early last year. You might be able to see in the top corner the video output. So the stage show that I was in help of production. So I actually starred in this very briefly, very small cameo role. But it was I did that background you see there. I painted that. I filmed it, did the audio. I just didn't edit this, so this is way overdue being edited. I'm confused as why that's not showing a waveform down here. Because here's the original waveform. So I'm using Adobe Premiere Pro. It's the 2015 version. I've not upgraded. It costs too much money. So what I was wanting to do, so I already got as far as just chopping this together. So first thing we're going to do is chop this into two pieces. So if anyone is familiar with stage performances, they're normally split into acts, which is the same as TV shows and films are kind of split into acts, but it's less obvious. Happy birthday? What do you mean happy birthday, Xander? Whose birthday is it? Hope you're doing well, though, Xander. Good to see you. Yeah, so the stage performances are more obvious as far as being chopped into different acts. So most of our stage performances are in two acts. You have a first act, a second act. I've seen the Snyder Cut. I have not. It's on my watch list. It's like 4 hours in it, Snyder Cut. I wonder how many acts are in that. It's got to be a few acts. Typically a film will have like 4 or 5 acts. You can normally tell when they transition to another area or a different feeling. Or time has passed. That's normally meaning that it's gone to another act. But this particular stage show, there is a cliffhanger, kind of a transitional journey point at which the act comes to an end and then moves into the next act. And the benefit of this, of course, with a stage show is the audience can have a break. We go, okay, we'll stop here. Go and get yourself some refreshments. Actors can get some refreshments. And then we move on. So you might be able to see, not sure if it's too dark, you have to let us know. But top right corner is a video output. So this is the point when the audience were allowed to get up and move around. And that's the start of the second act. So I've already set myself up a sequence. So in Premiere you can have sequences and they will contain all your video effects and audio. So I've done a full edit from start to finish, including the break and everything. So just basically match the sound, because these green bars down the bottom here are separate audio files. And it's a bit hard to see. If I can find a section. of the video. It's called quite dark. Maybe that one. Let's flick over to my other screen. There we go. So you might just be able to see there is a black silhouette in the center here popping up. That is a microphone. It's in fact probably this microphone here. Very, very likely to be this actual microphone. So this microphone is a mobile performance mic. I just so happen to use it for streaming as well. But that is actually on a tripod there. So that recorded 2 sets of audio. Hey Max, good evening. How's it going, dude? Yeah, that's that microphone. This microphone here is a multi-directional mic. It's a 360 mic. So I got microphones on the back of it. I got microphones on the front of it. So this file. Let's switch back over. Main screen. Whoop. So this top green file here. So this top one here is facing the actors. So that is the microphones facing the actors, whereas this bar down here is the microphone facing the audience. So you can see very similar waveforms because the sound is kind of all around. But anything the audience say or make noise is more prominent on the bottom, and anything the actors say and do is more prominent on the top. And I've combined the two, matched it up to the original camera audio, and the camera is set at the back of the room. So the original camera audio is not very good. You're basically sitting at the back of the room and you can't really hear what's going on. Fortunately though, the waveforms are prominent enough that you can match them up to the standalone microphone waveforms. You can see there's a peak here. If I zoom into this peak, you can see these different peaks here. So that comes along. So that there lines up, and so does that peak there. So let's play a little bit there. So coming out of my headphones. Okay, let's have a quick look. Which audio devices? It's all gone P-Tong. Edit, preferences, audio hardware. Audio hardware, 2-point input, 2-point output. Let's go into the voice meter. Let's go into the voice meter. Go to headphones. There we go. Hey Pip. We're editing the 2020 Grange Players Pantomime.
I don't know, boys and girls. Should I give the rusty lamp to this dirty old man? Yes!
Bargains like this don't come
Let's turn
along
that down a
every
little bit.
day.
Oh, I'm not sure. Should we, boys and girls? No!
They're very noisy.
Come a bit. You're right. They're really not agreeing. You're right, princess. Yeah. Out with the old and in with the new.
Yeah, so there's a little clip there. So you can see those peaks there all nicely line up. So that's good. That was the main thing I did previously on this. So what I've done, I've muted the original audio track. So this blue track up here is from the camera that's been muted. That's purely there for me to visually line up the microphones at the front of the room. So that allows you to have a bit more of a dynamic sound. It sounds like you're right at the front of the room listening to the actors, despite the camera being across the other side of a hall. So that doesn't need to be there. It's there purely for me to visually match it up. And if we want to emphasize anything from the audience or make the audience a little bit quieter, I can dip this green bar at the bottom here. So when the kids are screaming, "No! Don't do it," they're a little bit loud, so we could put a dip in here, which we might do now actually. Let's bring that to about there, and I want to make a dip in the audio. So let's go to the effects. Oh no, we're already up here. Effects control volume. So make sure we have that bottom one selected. Go to volume, and we'll put a marker. So we now have a marker on the volume. And then we want to put another marker just after the screams. Put a marker there. Now that's all well and good, but we need to have a couple of markers in between there that we can kind of play with, or at least around the other side. So if I put a marker just at the peak of that one, we put a marker there. So I'm just going up to the volume level control at the top here, and hitting this little add keyframe. The keyframe particularly references to video, but we can use it for audio as well. So if you don't match both audio tracks properly, is that when you get audio and video that doesn't match exactly max. So it will get to the point where someone will be moving their mouth, and then you hear them speak, or vice versa. You get audio desync. But the beauty of doing this visually, you can see the green lines match the blue line. And it's very defined sound. You go, yes, they match. And there might be like a fraction of a millisecond out, but sort of you're not going to notice it. Because if we zoom right into this, let's zoom right in. See, it doesn't. The audio doesn't match exactly. You see, it's not. The shape isn't exactly the same, but you can see where it starts. There's a start of an audio here, and then you can see it on the blue bit. It kind of just peaks up a little bit here, and this peaks up a little bit fraction afterwards. So they're not 100% lined up, but then sound travels differently. But then you look at here, that looks more lined up here. So the sounds, there's more attack on the sounds closer to the subject matter, which is the actors. So because of that, this is a sharper attack here, and the attack is the slope. So an attack of a sound is the slope. So anything that's got a higher attack means it's goes straight up into it, or a slower attack means it kind of gradually slopes up. So you can see, because it's closer, there's a higher attack on the audio because it's like the microphone's there, whereas at the back it's a lower attack because it doesn't hit so hard. Really annoys me when you watch your videos mismatch audio video. Yeah, it disjoints it. The mind can't process it. So you need to do whatever you can to kind of match those things up. It's a real art form to achieve that. But it makes all the difference. So I've matched this up, and we can see that. And we zoom out, it looks more apparent. So you can see, well, like these peaks here is a good example over here. We'll move this a bit more centre. You can see what's going on. So let's move this so it's a bit further away from the yeah, so this peak here is a good example of, it's matched up, because if you look at this, you can see there's a couple of little peaks on the side here. They kind of line up, and you've got this big peak here where it's got a sharper attack and a slightly more gradual attack because it's further away, but they do pretty much line up. It's like watching an old Bruce Lee film with poor dubbing. So yeah, it's kind of like sort of, you kind of speak and then, I'm going to kick you. But yeah, you don't want bad dubbing. You could bad dub it. Makes for quite a funny video if you try and purposely do bad dubbing. Ooh, look at this. This over here. I think there's a lot of shouting going on. Look at this bit here. Look at that. hesitant to even hit play on this. What's happening here?
Happy birthday.
They're singing happy birthday to an audience member. That's music. So I'll probably have to do a dip on that. So this is typically what takes the longest amount of time with editing any of my videos that I do, especially if it's live, because you don't get the best sound. Some sounds too quiet, some sounds too loud. You just want it to be somewhere in the middle. So because this peak here is so sharp on the audience side, because the audience are shouting, you can see it's not so sharp on the actors side, because they're not the ones shouting, but you can hear it across both. So we want to put another point in there. Now we can see now, we can grab this line here and that decreases. You can see we've got like a minus 8.8 decibels applied to this bar. So I play this back again.
Horrible dusty one.
Oh, I'm sure Aladdin would like a brand new sparkling lamp in exchange for this rusty old one. Oh, I don't know, boys and girls. Should I give the rusty lamp to this dirty old man?
So it's still a bit loud there. Let's bring this down a bit more.
Lamp in exchange for this rusty old one. Oh, I don't know, boys and girls. Should I give the rusty lamp to this dirty old man?
Bars like
That's
this
a lot
don't come
better.
along every day.
Oh, I'm not sure. Should we, boys and girls? No! I'm sure no harm can come of it. You're all right. They're really not agree, and you're
Very
right,
good responsive
Princess,
audience.
Yeah, out with the old and in with the new.
Yeah, so that's good. It's reduced it enough there. So there's a few peaks here. So what's this? Is that a thunder? What's that sound there? Yeah, it's thunder. So that is loud on both accounts there. Both the forward-facing and rear-facing microphone is very loud. That sound effect was designed to rumble across the whole hall. But our poor microphones didn't like that much. So let's put a point either side on both sets of audio. Zoom in a little bit on there. Let's bring this over. Let's remember there's a chat on the side there. Right, so if we put another point here and same there, and probably one there and same on that one there. So we can now reduce the volume on both of these to about something like -8. There we go. So how's that sounding?
I don't do returns. I'm not M&S. I don't do returns. I'm not M&S.
Okay, that sounds a bit better. It still rumbles, but it's not so distorted. I might put the one facing the actors a little bit higher.
I don't do returns. I'm not M&S.
There we go. Apparently she doesn't do returns. That's a bit of a loud thud as well. Let's bring this over. So we want that to about there. Let's put a marker there on both sides. And probably about there. Let's put another marker. And we'll put one just inside on both. But then on the outside of that, doesn't matter which order you put these markers, as long as you've got 4. So you have 4 markers, one for the anchor on the outside and one for the anchor on the inside. And you can pull or push the middle down then. So let's put that to about -4 and that down to about -8.
This lamp does possess.
There we go. Still a loud sound, but it's not going to break the speakers. So those are quite prominent ones there. We've got a few more peaks over here. So what have we got here? What's this lot? These don't seem to be anything that's touching the top of the sound bar here. I would have to reduce for certain, but if it's just below it, I think we might get away with it.
The lamp!
So that's loud, but it's not too bad.
Carry the boy forever.
Yeah, we can get away with that. We can get away with that. What's this one here? We have a dancing panda, look at that. I'll stop it there in case I get copyright striked from Simon Cowell. We don't want to be out there, do we? Can't be dealing with Simon Cowell on your back. So that's a pretty good volume there. So I think we might be okay. Let's have a quick scan, see if there's anything that peaks too much. What about this one? What's this?
Forever. But so is the lamp. Curses! But don't.
Yeah, I can live with that. I can live with that. It's fine.
Right, now try it again.
That's a little bit in your face. Let's reduce the buzzer. Fun fact, I'm actually behind that red spot. If I flicker over here. Yeah, see that big red spot? I am behind there. I am the arms of the machine. And that is a very crude representation of a machine, which is basically a black cloth over a upturned table, as is the way with amateur dramatics. Back over. Right, so we want to just reduce the klaxon. Is it klaxon? Is a buzzer. Put a marker both sides. That's quite loud. The sound effects weren't very overly managed. There's no real consistency, unfortunately. Let's put a marker there. So it does mean we have to do a little bit of work afterwards to kind of make up for it. It's down to, put that down to about a 3, but there's that down to a -8. That's a bit more dynamic. You can hear the sound better now. It's not kind of distorted, it's not sort of trying to cram all that sound into a small space. The rest of that looks okay. Oh, this over here. What's this going on over here? This looks a bit... That looks a bit... looks a little bit more like the Millennium Dome, that does. Or the O2 Arena as it is now. Very spiky. Okay, so a bit of applause. It's just when it's zoomed out, it looks like it's more more harsh than it is. What was this? Yeah, that could do with coming down a bit. You can hear it gets a bit distorted. You want it being distorted. And we'll nudge it in a little on both sides. And
But don't you worry, you...
so by there, so we can put a marker there. She starts speaking just after that marker. But as that's more of a gradual fade, we can widen the space between those markers. And again, let's put it down to about -4. Go about -8. How's that sound?
Curses! But don't you...
There we go. Again, you can actually hear the full sound now. It's not just sort of crumbly. It's not so crumbly, it's more of a fuller sound. Let's wind it back a bit more. So we know that was the applause. That looks okay. What about there? What's going on there? No, can't play that. That's going to be copyrighted for Channel 4 if you're not careful. So the problem is we got the license to play all these kind of sounds in the live performance when we're performing live. We have a license to use all those sounds. But we don't have a license for me to stream them, because there isn't a license for me to stream them. It doesn't exist. And because there's no license, I can't stream them. What was that about?
Drum roll, please.
Oh, it was so-called drum roll. There's a drum roll. Sounded like a small herd of elephants. Right, let's just reduce that drum roll down a bit. And put a marker either side. Put one over here. And as that comes in, we'll put a wider gap in there. Right, let's do the same as before. -4, -8. Because the speakers that were producing the sound effects were this side, they were closer to the audience than they were to the actors. The audience microphone picked up more of the sound effects than the forward-facing mic, which is why you can see it's louder on the bottom one there. So how's that sound now?
Drum roll, please.
Yeah, so that's better there. You can hear the sound, you can hear what it's trying to do. It's not distorted. What about this one? What is that? I think that was Ashley walking in front of the microphone. That's not going to be... Actually, I don't need to have dipped that because I'm probably going to chop that out anyway. Maybe for the extras, the DVD extras, for such a thing. What's going on here? Looks a bit of a mess. What's this? I don't understand why that's making that noise there.
Green one, right.
Is it green or yellow?
Green one, right.
Is it green or yellow?
How weird. At least you can hear Chris speaking very clearly there. Don't really need to worry about anything over here, because this is all like the half-time show, so it's basically kind of bingo half-time show kind of thing. Tombola, I suppose, more accurate to say. So that's when it comes to... So it's about 1:04. 1:04 there. So we go to about 1:04. This side. Cool. So we know that is the end of the first act. So let's use our scissor tool. Not scissor, it's a blade, isn't it? Is it a razor? I think it's a razor tool to go slice. So we put a razor tool in there. We slice that. So that is now a separate piece. Let's take it back to the beginning. And at which point, now we have the introduction there. So we want to take it back a little bit more. About there maybe. Let's zoom in a bit. And let's use our razor tool again. And that means we can chop that piece. Bring that over. So that is Act 1, that piece there. We zoom out, this whole piece here is Act 1. So we can save that, and if we duplicate it, we can then make an Act 2. So if I go duplicate on Act 1 and then call that Act 2, I go, so we still got Act 1 selected down here. So if I delete everything else, Act 1 only has Act 1 in it, and Act 2, if we open that one now, has Act 1 in as well. So we delete Act 1 from Act 2. Now we've just got Act 2 that needs a little bit of trimming. So that's fine. So it's typically about 15-minute intervals. A little bit longer than that by the looks of it. There we go. About a 20-minute interval. Waiting for all our audience members to take their seats. Let's cut it about there. We got our razor tool, slice. Then we can chop that piece out. That's purely the interval that we just chopped out. That means this is the start of Act 2. So we now want, I think we've already chopped it down to, maybe not, we've got a bit of audience there. Now depending what we actually do the video afterwards, depends whether I want some of this audience. You can see in sometimes recordings of live shows, you see kind of the audience leaving the auditorium. And sometimes I like to kind of have that. So you go, okay, audience is now leaving. It gives a bit of atmosphere. That's a bit loud. So that finishes there at the 54 minutes 37 mark. So what I could do is, because how long's that been on there? Because we could keep the audio. That's 50. It's only like two minutes worth of audience members getting up and leaving, which is enough time to do end credits and so forth. So I might leave that on in the end. It's a shame it's not showing the audio down the bottom here though. Let's save that project. So this is our project partway through. And we will render this later on, because I don't want to render this on stream because it will probably crash everything. So actually try and render and stream it. Poor graphics card would be screaming at me. So we'll save that and I'll render that after the stream. So if I flick over to full camera and distract you with my lovely face, and I'll come out of that. So save project, exit. So we'll close that. Excellent. So let's get another project open. Let's have a look. More projects. Go to my videos. 2019 maybe. Hey Pip. You see a little bit of you dancing. A little bit of a panda dance. So what I'm going to do, once that's rendered, I'm uploading all of these to my Dropbox. So Gideon, our good friend Gideon, can download them. However, I'm going to keep them up there for a month. Which means anyone else who wants to download a copy of them can do so. Obviously only for people that I know personally. I'm not going to be giving up pantomimes willy-nilly. Can't be doing such a thing. But yeah, I'll give out the link to people I know personally if they want a copy of the pantomime. It will be on there for a month. I've only paid for a month. Let's go here. What's going on with my notifications? Okay, yeah. Cool reactions. So 2019. I think this was the other one I was looking at. 2019 Cinderella. Let's get this one open. Cinderella was a pretty cool pantomime. So we did 3 performances in 2019, and I've got a copy of all 3. However, there was a malfunction partway through Sunday, so I've got 2 full performances and half a performance from Sunday. Now, unfortunately, Sunday is typically the best one because we've had 2 practices. So Friday, we'll edit them all, and what we can do once we've edited them all is pick and choose the best scenes. So we go, oh, on Friday scene 4 was really good, but actually scene 5 was better on the Saturday. And I have then got the option to go and picking the best from each of our performances and splicing them together as if they're on the same night. Imagine that. The deception. Let's get this. Let's get Friday open and switch back over to main screen. And this is where we left off. Cinderella with a coach. So, because this was a Friday performance, there was a slight hiccup. I'm not sure if it's a hiccup or a misplan, but you're not supposed to be able to see that pink background there. I don't think it's even pink. Might be pink? I think it's white, but the lights are pink, so it makes it look pink. The magic. Yeah, you're not supposed to be able to see that background, which is kind of unfortunate. So this scene may not get used in the final published kind of version, but I shall edit this, and nonetheless we do need to find where the audio is though, because I've got a lot of audio files and I think it's not these ones up here. I think. I don't know what that audio is for.
Here, do you lot want to be in my gang? You do? Fantastic, because they said no last night. Whenever I come on, I'm going to shout, "Hey, you gang," and you have to shout back, "Hey, you buttons." Can you do that? Yes. We'll have a practice. I'll go off and come back on again.
So that audio, can we get an idea what, do we have a properties of said audio? Doesn't give me a date on there. I'm gonna have to very much in the spirit of Cinderella, see which where the shoe fits, I suppose. So I don't know which day that audio is from. So I can try the shoe, so to speak, with Friday. See if that matches. I think it might be the Sunday because it's quite short. It might be Sundays. Let's clear some of these tracks. To the spare audio tracks, we don't need those in there. But I think because it was short, Something happened somewhere. No. No, no, no. Okay. Let's bring this back to begin. Yeah, that's good thing to do. Let's mute that one. Let's find a common place. So something we can match visually.
Hello, boys and girls.
So we've got a hello boys and girls there. Let's go solo on that. It's got to be either Saturday or Sunday, as Button says they didn't say that last night. True, true. But then, in the spirit of pantomime, he might have implied they've been doing it for a few nights.
Keep your eyes on that horrible, ugly stepdaughter of mine.
Next to that audio there is okay, so that peak there is referring to the stepmother talking about the stepdaughter. So let's take that off there, put that on mute. So there's Buttons. So there is the evil stepmother. So is there any peaks here we can line that up?
Oh no, here comes Baroness Griselda. Be on your best behaviour, Buttons.
Okay, so that's the Imperial March.
That's cheeky.
Silence!
Baroness Griselda.
So that's that scene there. So if we zoom out, we know that this needs to line up somewhere there, if indeed it lines up with this video. Is there anything to suggest that it does line up? Maybe. No, it's not looking very likely, is it?
Oh no, here comes Baroness Griselda. Be on your best behaviour, Buttons. I always am. Watch this.
So he's saying I always am, watch this. So if we go solo on that.
Listen, you tiresome tabby. Cats. My marvellous...
So that needs to be over here actually. That might be why it wasn't lining up. Go back over here.
I always am. Watch this.
Listening to that, that might not actually be live audio. It might be rehearsal audio. So I did record some of the rehearsals. Because that's the Imperial March coming in here. But then the Imperial March comes in here. Actually, there's Boozlo, so it can't be. Yeah, so that's the Imperial March there. That's the Imperial March.
She was wicked, and worst of all, she was from Harbury. Her name was Griselda.
Cruel? Wicked? I just misunderstood. And it's Baroness Griselda to you? You don't think I'm wicked, do you, boys and girls? No. Oh, no, I'm not. Oh, yes, you are. Oh, no, I'm not.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely not matching for that. Definitely not matching there at least. Oh, it might be from here. I might have brought it in too soon.
Sadly, the Baroness died. Oh. And for the sake of Cinderella, the Baron remarried a woman with 2 daughters of her own. Bitterly jealous of Cinderella's graceful beauty, the 2 stepsisters forced her to do all the terrible chores at Harder Hall.
Okay, so that's the Imperial March there. So, if that's the Imperial March at that point, you need to bring this down. And bring that peak to here. It's all very much a guessing game at this point.
Sadly, the Baroness died. Oh. And for the sake of Cinderella, the Baron remarried a woman with 2 daughters of her own. Bitterly jealous of Cinderella's graceful beauty, the 2 stepsisters forced her to do all the terrible chores at Harder Hall and tore her beautiful dresses into rags. I think that's the modern thing with youngsters these days, isn't it? But as vile as they were nothing compared to her new stepmother. She was cruel, she was wicked, and worst of all, she came from Harbury. Her name was Griselda.
Okay, so that point there is Imperial March. So
Paracetamol. Why?
So that means that needs to line up with that. You're back, welcome back, Max.
As vile as they were,
Never thought about using Imperial March to match things up. So that's the Imperial March there. That's the Imperial March there. I don't think those waveforms match. Oh, no. I can see a pattern there now.
wicked. I'm just misunderstood. And it's Baroness Griselda to you. You don't think I'm wicked, do you, boys and girls? No. Oh, no, I'm not. Oh, no, I'm not.
So it kind of matches, but it kind of doesn't. It's kind of a testament to how well people redo their lines again. Have you heard of Omelette Arcade hooks? Possibly. Possibly. Can't visualise it right now though. Let's push all my hair back in there. I need a haircut. I'm not wearing this cap purely for fashion, you know. Keeps everything under wraps. So I think this audio isn't designed to go with this particular one, because yeah, you've got some peaks over here which don't actually match at all. But we know we've lined it up based on the events, but it doesn't match that one. So let's delete it. Doesn't go there. Is it a Saturday one? I mean, I'm more inclined to say it's probably Sunday. Could be Sunday. Well, we know the Imperial March comes in when the evil stepmother walks on stage. So we'll use the Imperial March as our kind of flag, so to speak. Let's delete additional audio tracks. We don't need those in there for now. Let's make that video a bit smaller and bring this down so we've got more visible audio on. Yeah, so where's... So is that the Imperial March? Cool, so we've got the Imperial March here. That nice little bump there is the Imperial March. Thinking of streaming COD Mobile with it. Ooh. Omelette Arcade is a streaming site for mobile. Oh yes, that's where I've heard it. I have come across it. Never really used it because it's for mobile stuff. But I looked at it and went, okay, no, I'm good. I got enough on my plate. Right, so we're saying 25 minutes 46. 25:46 is the Imperial March. 25:46. I'm guessing that's probably Imperial March here. Solo.
Here, what do you call a cat in a...
Okay, so that's Imperial March there. So 25:46, wasn't it? 20. So Imperial March is about there. So we move that forward to there. It means I won't need things like camera and other equipment. It's still going to sort out piece anyway. Well, that's cool. It gives you something to get going with for now.
Their beautiful dresses in
Okay, that's the Imperial March there. Let's line that up there. Let's get a little bit closer.
The Baroness died. As for the sake of Cinderella, the Baron remarried. A woman with two daughters of her own. Bitterly jealous of Cinderella.
Yeah, a little bit further down. So that seems to match up there. That seems matching mostly along here as well. Look at that, that's near spot on, isn't it? Yeah, it's got to be matching up to this one, I reckon, because you can hear the children talking on both the camera and the microphone. There's a few peaks that don't seem to match there, that's the thing. Like over here. No, there's a peak that matches there. What about that one though? Well, there's people walking, so you wouldn't hear that at the back of the hall. Okay, so we're saying that's matching there. Can we match it a bit further up? Oh, it looks very much like it matches here as well. I think you're right, Max. This is probably the Saturday. It belongs to the Saturday.
Hey, you gang! Cinderella, you're going to be late for the ball.
I'm not going.
Of course you are. You got an invitation from yours truly.
Look, my stepsisters made me tear it up.
Oh no, you're joking. It's times like this I wish I'd listened to what my dad had told me.
What did he say?
Don't know. I wasn't listening. Don't
Brilliant
worry,
acting there.
Sid. We can put it back together again. I'm great at jigsaws. I did one once in 2 months.
What's so good about that?
It said 3 to 6 years on the box. Here. Maybe if you take this bit, they'll let you in for 10 minutes. Please don't cry, Cinderella. Here, wipe your eyes on this tatty old rag.
That's my dress.
Awkward.
Brilliant. Okay, so that we seem to have found the home for that. However, I do recall now a slight other technical issue. Is that I think that is all the audio I had for the Saturday. So it ended here. I didn't have the second act recorded. Well, even towards the end of the first act, actually, looking at that. Okay, right. So we can say with confidence that there's nothing happening there. Wind that all the way up. Grab the dot. Shift it left. Okay, that's right at the beginning now. So, where is the beginning? So let's put a chop in here. Cut and cut. Move these pieces. Wind it back out. Get all that. Shift that left. Cool. So that is the start there. So where does it actually start? Probably there, to be honest. Let's wind that back this way. Cool. Okay, so that is the beginning of the Saturday night. It's unfortunate though, I lost the audio past this point.
What's his name?
Teddy. That's a pretty original name for a teddy, don't you think?
He's lovely. Oh, I wish I could go to the ball. I'd get to meet the man of my dreams all over again.
The man of your dreams.
He's tall.
I'm tall.
He's funny.
I'm funny.
He's handsome.
I'm funny.
Oh, Buttons, I love you.
Did you hear that, boys and girls? She loves me. This is my chance. Marry me, Cinderella. Then I can be Buttons harder.
But you wouldn't be Buttons harder.
Trust me, I'd be hard up all the time.
Can't marry you, Buttons. You're like a brother to me.
But you said I was the man of your dreams.
Okay, so I'd have to chop it there. I remember being quite annoyed at the time that there was a equipment failure. I think it might have been the batteries. I think the batteries had died. Which is the unfortunate thing about having microphones that run on batteries. Brilliant for being mobile, but unfortunately dependent on having batteries in order to record. Right, let's mute that. So for the rest of the Saturday recording, you have to use a native camera audio, which is unfortunate. Means I won't need. Oh yeah, what was that? Yeah, where's this thing? But depending on how it turns out, maybe the video from other nights is better. I don't know. So unfortunately, I've only really got the beginning. Solidly, I got the beginning on both Saturday and Sunday. I just have to hope that the Friday, the end, second act of Friday was decent enough. Hope that's slightly misaligned. Can't be having that. Oh, where's he gone? So line that back up there and then go back to the beginning. And drag that to the beginning. But that does mean from here I need to put a marker there and then chop that. Then come back out. So the audio on these files here, I'm going to have to actually drag the volume down. So I can't mute it. So if I mute it, you're not going to hear anything later on.
They're a lovely lot in tonight. Very handsome. You're handsome. You're handsome.
There's the two ugly sisters. Right, let's see how this sounds. We might have to just boost the audio.
It's lovely. Oh, I wish I could go to the ball. I'd get to meet the man of my dreams all over again.
The man of your dream.
Now if I go audio channels, we don't need 5.1. My camera's a 5.1 recording. We don't need reverse. Take those out. Same for that. Take out the reverse channels because there's nothing behind the camera. That needs recording. Do that on all of these. Where's it again? Audio channels. Remove the reverse. Audio channels. Remove reverse. Again on this one. By this point, it's already dark anyway. So we don't actually need that last bit of the clip. So we can just delete that clip. Poor little clip. We might as well actually take off the audio channels in here as well. So audio channels. Might as well just leave the front, left and right. Because we only need them for a visual guide at most. So let's take out those channels. We don't need center, we don't need base, we don't need rear, left and right. And that clip as well. Cool. Hey Jake, how's it going, dude? Just editing some video. Right, so what I want to know now is how different it's going to be when we jump from the microphone back to the camera.
History will remember your contribution to this.
Well, thank you for the host on Twitch, Jake. Much appreciated, dude.
We'll have our very own ball right here. Here, you'll need a new dress. Aha. That's a new dress. Check. Now you need to accessorize. You need a gold necklace. Aha.
Gold.
Yes, that's 9 carats. And now you need a tiara.
Oh, Buttons, you are silly.
I'm not the one with a colander on my head. Please don't be upset, Cinderella. Here, I've got something for you. I was going to wait until Christmas, but
Right, so that sounds quiet, but okay.
did you hear that, boys and girls? She loves me. This is my chance.
Turns out the man who was in the first ever trailer for LEGO Dimensions was actually the voice of XPO. Oh, right.
Wouldn't be Buttons harder.
Trust
That's
me,
cool. That's a bit cool trivia,
all
Jake.
the time.
Can't marry you, Buttons. You're like a brother to me.
But you said I was the man of your dreams.
Buttons, I wasn't talking about you. What? He works at the palace. You mean the prince? No, it's manservant Dandini.
Dandini. Dandini. Yes. You mean Dandini.
What's wrong with him?
Don't think he's your type.
Why no?
Yeah. So if that's going to be the best it's going to be, it's the best it's going to be. Might be able to enhance it, I don't know. So let's do a copy on that clip. Then paste the attributes. Volume, time mapping, motion. Don't need all that anyway. There's nothing on there, so paste it along. It keeps the audio consistent. Paste attributes. And again. Cool, so as annoying as that is, you can hear it.
Here, this is everything for my father's vegetable. Perfect. This pumpkin with a fine coach. And this gives me an idea.
Okay, you can hear the audience, but you can hear the actors. So that's a reasonable compromise. So I can see the Saturday night performance will have to do for that. So that's Saturday's audio. So if I open the Saturday and drag these into Saturday, because we know they're part of Saturday. So Saturday, there's everything we can do with the Saturday. We'll close Saturday there. So we've got Friday. We don't know what the audio is for Friday yet. But I do have some audio. Let's switch cameras while I have a look in my folder. So we have all this audio. That's the 4-channel audio which I've dropped in. So the 4-channel audio is from Saturday. I don't know what all this audio is. I'm gonna drag it. I'll drag it into Premiere. Drag it into the audio folder. And we'll have a look what it is. I bet you most of it's not actually what I want. Let's flick that back over now. Not seeing my inner workings of my computer. So dragged in all the audio files. So what's this then?
Testes, testes, one.
Okay, so we can clear that. That's not of anything of any use.
Please return to your seat.
So these looks like it must have been the sound effects that are recorded for the.
God, that pirate. Ew, what the fuck is she doing on there? It's the Panto. Ladies.
Yeah, so these looks like be the sound effects then. So we don't need the sound effects. Clear all those ones out. Some very nice clear waveforms. Look at those. Not what we want though, unfortunately. Clear that as well. Clear that one. That's not something we want. Neither is that. What is that?
皆様
I thought that looks a bit too clean. One of these has got to be. Ah, what's that?
No! This is a magic
Magic parrot? There's no such things as magic parrots!
Don't say that! Don't say there's no such thing as magic parrots, because when you do,
Because I'm host!
I've been meaning to ask, why do you have such steering wheel down your pants?
So that sounds like the Pirates audio, which is another pantomime, not Cinderella. Or was it? Because he definitely did the steering wheel down the pants gag in Pirates.
Follow still. You know, the poor man now has got a haddock. A headache.
Yeah, that's definitely a Pirates one. So
remarkable honesty. Can I trust them, boys and girls?
Do you think I should see a doctor about my hearing? We don't have any doctors in Lucy. Don't we? Why not? They've all become sturgeons.
yeah, that's another Pirates one. I'm hoping there's some audio in here somewhere.
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh, yes, you do!
Hang on a minute. You're supposed to be on my side.
They were on your side.
Oh, that's a bit of a mistake then.
Stella Artois, harder.
Yeah, so that's definitely the that's the right pantomime now. So that one's fine. What about this one?
Oh, took him! Ghost! Oh!
Ghost. What was a ghost in there? Yeah, that's the right one. What about this one? Yes, let's get rid of that. So we got audio for one of the pantomimes. But which one? Is it the Friday? I'm hoping it's the Friday. Let's take out the audio channels. We'll take out rear, left and right from all of these. We don't need a rear, left and right when the camera's against the wall. And there's definitely nothing behind it. What's the time? It was past 11 PM. So I'll probably try and quickly match up this audio. And at least I can render some stuff then. Channels. Yep, take those out. Right. So I think that is the first act. Just mute it for now. Let's find a good point on the pantomime. So we can use the Imperial March again, because the Imperial March is quite easy to identify, which is about there.
Do you boys and girls?
No, I think it's there actually. No? There.
I think that's the modern thing with youngsters these days, isn't it? But as vile as they were nothing compared to...
Okay, that's the Imperial March there. That slope. So that slope there is the Imperial March. So where is it on? There's 1915, the Imperial March. What's this?
Cruel? Cruel? Wicked? I'm just misunderstood.
Okay. So where's 1915? $19.15 is there. So that needs to come to about here. Zoom in a bit more. Oh, too much. I've lost my bearings. There we go. What can we match it with? Probably there. Zoom right, wasn't too far. That looks about match. What about this one here? There we go. We can see that needs to be brought over. So that's matching that audio there. That looks a pretty good match. It's not exact, but
The Baroness died. Oh. And for the sake of Cinderella,
I wonder why that's so quiet there. That matches up quite nicely elsewhere though. So, is that just the remainder of this? Or is, yeah, that looks like the remainder of the pantomime. So, I'd say, unfortunately, Sunday probably doesn't have any audio. Right, can we find the end here? And the applause.
Oh, of course, we had an illness today, so shut up. We had an illness today, so we were filled in with the parrot. I forgot his name. Flint. Might remember him from last year. So thank you very much.
Yeah, so that's all. A little bit of audience moving and probably about there. And chop. Cut those bits. Let's go back to the beginning. Chop that to there at the least. Here's the beginning of the pantomime. What about there? Zoom out, grab everything, move it to the beginning.
Scream, Mum. This is my black cat, my marvellous Moggy.
Cool. Okay, I'm happy with that. So that is Friday. So let's drag that into Friday. Let's do a quick look at Sunday again. Yeah, Sunday doesn't have any audio. That's a shame. So it's definitely the best video quality because I've got all the settings perfect by the Sunday. But the camera conked out and so did the audio. That's unfortunate. But I've done everything I can basically on those without chopping them up. So I'm going to have a look at what's good on each of them. and then render them out. So let's give that, close that down, give that a save. Thank you for all tuning in. I'm going to get some rest now. I haven't been streaming for too long, have I? Yeah, it's about an hour and 45 minutes. So thank you for coming out for this impromptu video editing stream. I much appreciate you all. If people enjoyed it, sort of let me know. I'll do some more of it. If not, I'll just have a day off streaming and just do it without anyone watching. Is it worth? No, not worth going on to. So I'll just probably just wrap up the stream, end it there. I'll be back on tomorrow 9 PM British for Batman Arkham Origins. Quite enjoying that, solving riddles. If you want to keep up to date with me, you can do so on my Twitter, twitter.com/DJHugJunkie. Link is there in the Twitch chat. I do have a Discord server where you can hang out between streams, chat about Lego games, music, a video, anything you like. Feel free to chat. I'm going to get some rest now. Hope you too, and I'll see you tomorrow for Batman Arkham Origins. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.